Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another play session of the Mountaineer campaign, of course, hosted by the 4th West Virginia. I'm First Lieutenant Sigmar, and today I've got a guest commentator from EB.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Colt here, and yeah, I'm gonna be a guest commentator today, representing EB. So let's go, boys.
So we're gonna try to choose sides and watch them. But since you've got one of your boys on the Union side, Crawford, what do you think he's gonna do to approach this map?
Uh, you know, Crawford is experienced pub player, but he doesn't have too much event experience. He plays a lot of XO, so it's kind of a wild card. We'll see how he adjusts to event, but he plays a lot of the low pop pub servers and stuff like that. So I think he's actually gonna do pretty well managing his line. I'm just curious on how he's going to react to the other officers, how he's going to handle that without the chat system of pubs. But overall, I think he's going to do well tonight.
Nice. So let's go into the roll call now. I'll cover IVB. I do believe IVB for tonight's mostly going to be led by a Lieutenant Complex. However, they do have a small auxiliary of 1st Minnesota Cav. I believe Mac is kind of the overall leader, but it's possible Zach will be taking over artillery for tonight. Who they got over on the Union side?
Well, we got I think Lightburn leading on the Union. We obviously have Crawford leading on EB, and then I think Nitro is leading as the head of skirmishers
Nice.
for MB. So yeah,
Already,
it's
right off the bat, we do got some movement from the CSA team. Looks like they are going up the forest. Now, we both saw the strat sketches for both teams, and I think this is exactly what the CSA team has planned, and the USA is also doing exactly what they planned. The interesting thing is, both sides did account for what the other side's going to do almost perfectly. So this will be an
yeah.
interesting first skirmish.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Union's not going to get on that RD2. I actually do like the RD on this map. That's a little controversial, but I do think you can pull them back and do a little bit of damage with them, as long as you protect them. And, that buck and ball is just going to be, tough to deal with. So we'll see how Crawford handles it.
Yeah, I imagine CSA is going to take it a little slow. They probably want to leverage their advantage of buck and ball the best they can by getting close. Now, Union is kind of blobbed up. Not actually, they're split up. I recorrect myself. If the entire CSA team charges for the forest, they could potentially get a breakthrough here.
Looks like MB and WV are both with fourth. They're all bunched up on the center right now. Not really close to the forest. I think positionally, it's a little unwise. I think they should move it towards the point, just to help cover the woods a bit better. Because they're just giving them all access to that forest.
I would
I
tend to
mean, I mean
agree,
that,
yeah.
that's really good soft cover there. So not sure positionally, but this could be a part of their strategy. You know.
Yeah, Lightburn did. He was very cautious. He's always very cautious about the use of buck and ball. He did not want to get close to those Irish boys tonight. So I think he's maybe just going out there in the middle of the field to draw them out and put them in a worse position. Now, the CSA team can stay there in the forest and return fire on them, but it's not going to be quite as effective unless they choose to not use buck and ball, which, let's be real here, it's IVB, fellas. They're going to use buck and ball.
Definitely. Time, I don't think is going to be a huge issue here. So I think definitely keeping it at a ranged gunfight is the best thing to do. But you just you got to be careful of tickets. You got to prioritize saving your tickets on defense, um, and not taking losses as much as possible, and just let them cap the point.
Nice little volley over there by the Union line. Now, oddly
Absolutely.
enough, we got a Rambo over there. I'm going to have to warn that fella.
One thing I will say is this line is pretty crowded. They're not really that spread out. So what I think is going to happen is I think the CSA is just going to get as close as they can and just try and win a gunfight um, with this with the Union. I think the Union might lose it because they're just so crowded up. They're not spread out.
Yeah, you would probably have more experience with the IVB team than I do. Do you think they'd go in for a charge across the open field to try to get him, or you think they're
I
gonna
think they're
just
just
shoot him
gonna
out?
try and win the gunfight. I mean, Crawford actually does spread it out here, like I said before, and he's just gonna use looks like the cover of the rocks to kind of help him out a little bit. But this soft cover of the CSA that they're using, I mean, that's really hard to hit over there.
Yeah, that's a lot. It
Um,
looks like they're actually going in, perhaps. Let's see what they're
oh
doing. Maybe
yeah,
they're just taking a forward position. I would probably say if they're taking a forward position, I don't quite know why they are. Yeah, they're getting a little bit closer, but like you
they
said,
are on
they
point
lost
too.
the soft cover and concealment. They're really betting on winning the gunfight now.
Yeah, they and I gotta say, Union is very bunched up on these rocks. Not and when you have this peeking out from the rocks and stuff like that, they see your position already. They already know where you're at. There's no distraction, no firing line. So when you peek out, you're probably gonna get shot. And that's what I'm seeing a lot from Union right now is they're just getting shot the hell up.
They are taking a lot of losses right now, which is not ideal because they are on the defense. Low pop's already hard enough, but being on the defense and you lose a big ticket lead, that is hard to recover. That's going to set the pace for the entire match. Now,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know what Union can really do in this position outside of just stick it out. They can maybe try to go towards the caisson artillery to just change positions. Whoops. But they're going to get shot up in the process. But it might
Yeah.
be best. If I was there in the field, I might take my guys out of there. You're not really winning.
Yeah, I mean, I think Crawford is making a mistake here, just staying with the group and being a bit bunched up with the main line. I think did the main line just get wiped? Or
They did take
they're
some
over to
main
the left?
casualties,
Yeah,
but yeah, they've kind of separated out. Looks like over there on the rocks independently are going to be.
I like this a lot better, I will say, because you're opening different angles, and they can't always deal with that. They kind of have to spread out themselves, and that opens up an opportunity to win more gunfights.
For sure, yeah. Two
Um,
angles have avenues of approach. Generally a good idea.
yeah, absolutely, and having one unit, behind soft cover while one behind a hard cover, usually works out pretty well. Um, if the soft cover is far back, and you can do a lot of damage, versus the hard cover where they try to draw out the fire, while also conserving their losses.
Does look like Union's shifting onto the caissons like I suspected. Now I'll be interested to see if they go into the forest or if they just try to stick it out and shoot. IVB is going very
They're
exposed into the middle of the field. I think they
definitely
may be trying to pursue them.
Definitely, I think they're just going to try and use their numbers and buck and ball to their advantage. And just when I,
Yeah,
if
they're
Union
going in
wants
for a
to win this
melee.
charge right here, they need to get in a line, a spear wall, and get ready. I wouldn't take cover here. Just get in a spear wall and let them run into it. But
I would wager that a good portion of the
I'm
Union
waging that
soldiers.
CSA is going to win this fight because they're just going to
Yeah,
get into them. Yep,
they're
buck and
running it.
ball.
Actually,
We
the
got the
ratio
shots.
is not bad right now. I expected that the Union team would be mostly out of reloads
Crawford,
because they fell
my
back.
boy Crawford, and all his shots off. It doesn't look like EB's going to hold out. Oh, skirm. Oh, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
at least
Yep.
I think they'll be able to. Nah, they're gonna get full wiped. Now that was
Yep.
actually.
My first Minnesota as well, by
hmm
their own boys.
I like you. I expected that to be cleaner. IVB actually got pretty bloodied from that fight, even though they had, I would say, an overwhelming advantage in it. So the
Wow.
tickets. The thing is, if the Union does retake point, they will get their tickets back. I think early capping by IVB was maybe not the play.
I on low pop, yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you in theory. However, sometimes you just want to get the game over with, and
Truth, yeah.
if you have a good lead, sometimes you take the point and you just bank on the fact that you can just hold it with your buck and ball, and I think that's what they're gonna try and do. Um, but definitely, like Union can definitely come back, and just retake point and get even out the tickets.
Yep,
So
they'll be back to neck and neck. And then Comes with time game. Now, a big disadvantage for Union right now, they do have both their flags down. I'd say that's going to completely hurt their odds of actually retaking until those despawn. I don't think they're going to be able to recover them except for maybe the one on the log pile, but it looks like IVB's setting up some guys over there. Um, Union
Yeah,
could
definitely.
try recapping to bait.
First
But
Minnesota is doing some cool
yeah,
stuff on the
they're
rocks
they're
here.
out here on the rocks being a little forward position. I
I like the forward position that skirmishers take out here. I like it a lot. You know, just hit them as hard as you can, pull back, you know, and just be a thorn in their side. You know, you really just scouting at this point. You're really just scouting, see where the enemy is, and then you know pulling back to a stronger position to defend,
It is Mac's
knowing the enemy's
specialty.
movements. Yeah.
Mac really
So
likes going out there, but let's see how he encounters it because this is the entire Union team is facing
yeah,
off
I
against
would
him.
probably fall
He
back if I was
he had to
Mac.
be out of there 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, you know, I.
This is not good. Mac, you need to get
Oh
out of there, son.
God, Mac, run! Oh,
You can't beat them
oh
all.
my God.
You maybe get one or two, but you can't beat them all, Mac.
Oh God.
He is the
Step forward.
sacrificial lamb.
Ryan's seeing it all.
Now,
He's seen
interesting
it
thing
all.
enough, that may benefit the CSA team because the Union just shot all their ammo, and IVB
Yeah,
is going in for another
actually,
charge.
this is yeah, they're about to ambush them. This
Oh,
might be
IVB's
the
holding.
play.
Oh, if I was IVB, I would have full sent that. You don't have much to lose.
Oh, oh, they're
Good
hey,
volley,
they
good
got a
volley.
ticket drop.
Yeah,
That
they
was
got
good.
a good volley. It looks like they got three, for buck and ball.
I wouldn't do a volley that close
Yeah,
though. I think I
yeah,
would just do
it's.
independent
I
fire,
would,
right?
yeah, see. This is the thing about officering game. You got traditional people, and then you got people who are a little bit more flexible. I only use volley fire at
To,
very long
to be
range.
honest, I think positionally, Union should just go to point here. I mean, you know, there's
Yeah,
no reason to try and beat them in a buck and ball
they're
fight.
losing. Yeah, you are going to
You could
lose
just
here.
maneuver to point and just get behind hard cover and just hurt you. You know, especially
Personally,
on low pop. That I think that's what they should do.
yeah, they have to get out of there.
Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, I think they're losing this gunfight right now.
Oh yeah, they're more than losing it. I personally maybe when IVB pulled up because again I was expecting IVB to just full send charge again. They did not. They did a mass volley. Honestly, Union probably could have countercharged them at that point and maybe
Absolutely. I
fucking
mean,
killed them.
yeah. You know, anytime you countercharge, you know, you gotta account for the fact
Oh, here comes
that
Mac again.
the
What
distance.
is Mac doing?
Oh, yeah. He's being brave here.
He is
I
being
kind
very
of
brave.
like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
I guess because of the low amount of Union, he got
I like
through.
it because it kind of draws them out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, very
Wow,
risky.
comrade with a good snipe. That was good.
Very risky, but it seems to pay off. Let's see if they can take out the small group of who's this officer out here? Lightburn?
Wow.
That's cringe. Wow. Wow. Good job, Queso.
Wow. Two remain.
Gotta get out of here, Queso.
Two Union remain after that.
Yeah,
That was
that
wild.
was surprising. I expected Mac to really smack him
Yeah,
down.
be like kind of passive shooting into the side. Nope. Just
So
gonna go charge in.
one
That's
thing I always hate to see, especially in low pop, is the slug trail. They are trailing in the point,
oh
and
god,
Lightburn's
yeah.
trying to go in for the cap on caissons.
This
That's
is
good.
why you get your full kits. This is why
Yeah.
you want to like readjust. You want your full team with you and you're coordinated. I think you're
So,
just gonna get your boys wiped here. You know.
yeah, he's gonna draw him off the forest, sure. There looks like there's a force on the left. Who's that compromised of?
It
Looks
does
like
look
it's
more like a
EB.
distraction than he's going for, so that
Yeah,
his other boys can get in the back of the enemy and you know maybe reposition in the woods. I do see
EB's
Star
off
all the
over
way
there.
over in the
Yeah,
woods.
they're
Yeah,
off over there trying to reposition. The only thing I'd say about this though is they're gonna be losing tickets. They're not gonna hold point, and because they divided themselves pretty heavily here, IVB's probably gonna go
it's
back to the
definitely gonna
forest.
it's
And
definitely
if
gonna be difficult.
yeah, they're gonna go back to the
I
forest.
do think 53rd could probably hold a defensive position near the point and use that as an angle of attack to capture the point. Now we'll see what they do here, but you know they gotta sprint their ass up, you know, to get back on that point.
Yeah, it looks like
Uh,
IVB's indulging them by staying on point. I personally would have brought it straight back after killing the fourth because I know anyone left in the forts is at half strength. They could have easily killed him if they ran into him. But they're giving them a chance to group up now. Again, the flags have despawned, so Union's going to get their respawns back. That'll be very important to actually winning this. I'll be interested to see if the Union blobs up and goes in, or if they're just going to commit to the same kind of two halves firefight strategy.
I definitely don't like the blob up strategy. I like it more when, you know, one unit forms a line and one unit gets behind hard cover. You know, just harder to deal with. Especially, you know, you have to charge out the unit on the hard cover, and when you do that, you expose yourself to a counter charge from the other unit. So
Yeah, it does look like
that's what I
EB.
would like to see more, but
EB's fighting IVB over there in the road. Now, this is what I was saying. If IVB came up here way earlier, this would be way better for them to do. I actually think IVB's positioning right now is they're giving it to Union. I feel like
yeah, I
IVB
mean,
is going to get wiped.
absolutely. I think IVB's position, forming a line here against, you know, people who have hard cover, is, you know, a little questionable. Like, you know,
Couple
you
yards
can,
back, they got the logs. They got
absolutely.
more. You can even shift in the
You don't have
forest
to
if you
defend
want.
from that
Yeah,
position.
it's putting yourself in an openly bad position, and
Union has the better cover. I think they actually do win this gunfight.
Complex
If
looks like he
Union
is
were to
pulling
charge
out.
right now, I think win.
Yeah,
They're pretty disorganized.
Yeah, where's their flag at?
Oh,
Is their flag?
let's
They
see
get the
if they
flag?
charge.
If I was Lightburn, I would go in. I mean, I'd just go in and kill them because they.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got one flag. They got right back up though. They have the
Yeah.
overwhelming advantage right now.
It looks like I
Actually, maybe
do
taking
agree
points to
with this
play
a little bit. Yeah.
because they get
they're
for their
they're
tickets.
just moving a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they have to charge them.
Small
Right,
Mac
so
is coming in for an
I do
attack
like this.
by
Oh,
his lonesome. Again, Mac is the specialty for skirmishing. However, Mac generally keeps his distance. You know, okay,
I
I
like
don't
how
know what
he's getting up
Union's
close
doing.
like this. Oh,
What is?
Crawford isn't noticing.
Yeah, I don't know what Union's doing right now. They should keep moving.
Oh yeah.
Now they've put them like the rocks are good covers, sure, but you're not, and they're taking point. I can kind of excuse it,
I
sure.
think they realized that they were outnumbered there and they needed to pull it back. However, I think you just got to commit. You know, if you're gonna be that aggressive, I think you just got to commit and you know,
Yep.
cause some disorganization. You know, help your team out a little bit. But you know, I do like Mac's strategy of being aggressive here. It's
He's doing the kamikaze, you know. He's like,
it's a fresh thing to see, like a little disorganization, a little distraction to open up.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out that time, just because I think IVB was still mustering.
Yeah,
Oh.
so IVB's coming in for a close
IVB
attack.
coming in for a charge.
Don't think this is going to work. Yeah, this is not going to work.
They're charging across open field.
They've barely taken any. The USA's barely taken casualties. The three casualties they took were friendly fire.
If Mac had kind of stayed behind and skirmished it out like on the point,
Yep,
maybe
golden.
he could have drawn some forces. Maybe he could have offered a bit of a distraction.
You could even be there on cap.
IVB was just in a poor position there. I wouldn't blame them solely for that charge not working.
So the tables have turned. Yeah, the CSA team was a little disorganized. They're a little spread out. They had a couple people in spawn, a couple people that got wiped or whatnot. Unfortunately, they just lost their flag and they just got point recap. The tables have flipped, sides have turned.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like this. You know, from the Union, they finally pulled it together. I think it was due to a little bit of CSA incompetence at times.
Yeah, a little bit.
But absolutely, like kudos to them. They played it exactly how they should have. Try and stay behind some good cover. Try and win out the shootout, and they did. They did. They repositioned themselves on point. They focused on the objective, and that's what got them the win.
Yep, Union, the only thing they were lacking there was positioning, and fortunately for them, the CSA team put themselves in an even worse position than they were. So
absolutely
canceled out that one bad thing. But they are coming in.
Like CSA is moving towards the right.
Yeah, I do suspect they're going to hook through the forest and try to do a similar strategy.
I think EB and then WV are going to spread it out a little bit. With one company watching the flag, making sure that they don't get the flag back, because that is a big factor here.
Yeah, I would do everything to hold that CSA flag.
Do you wait for flag to respawn? And I don't think they're gonna wait. I think they're just gonna go for it. You know.
Yeah, they do
Um,
have the ticket advantage, and of course they're not going to have to worry about going and breaking and get point cap. They can afford to play pretty recklessly. The only thing I would say though is they still got 35 minutes on the clock. They can afford to take it slow. Now, IVB, from what I've seen, likes to finish like they want to go for the throat, finish the match quick, sure. Sometimes it's best to bleed out your opponent just a little bit.
Absolutely. I think MB in this skirmishing position right here is a very interesting thing. I think they're mostly scouting, and they're definitely gonna bring it back once that unit comes up, or as they probably should, but
Yeah, I'm totally
I
fine with
won't
what
I
they're
won't
doing right
say
now.
anything. Yeah,
They're in a good position. They're only 3 guys. That is going to make an impact when it comes to the team fight. But if they're smart, they can pull out and not get wiped out. But
absolutely.
the entire they should be telling the rest of the guys. They should be running right now, telling the rest of the guys, hey,
Yep, absolutely.
all the rebs are in the
Coming up.
forest.
Directly northwest, your left, left. Left, right.
Nitro is a pretty smart
Yep.
man, so I expect him to be
Run,
pulling out.
run.
I don't
No,
think he's going to get out in time.
It's gonna pull out a heroic sacrifice.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
not.
maybe they chase. This will be.
Sometimes as officer, you wanna kind of pull
Oh
a heroic
no,
last
I'll
stand to
have
give
to
your
put
best time.
I have to put the Benny Hill song on this shit right now. Let's see this. This is going to
Oh,
be 50-50. This is a coin flip. So far it's in the
yeah,
USA.
CSA
Overwhelming
getting a good charge
USA.
in. Union doesn't have a really great line, but CSA is also kind of overwhelming the Union.
Yeah, the first USA volley really took out a lot of CSA.
I do gotta say, I think Union has it here as
Yeah.
long as they kill the remnants.
Overwhelming victory. They only lost
I
about a
wouldn't
third.
say overwhelming. Tickets are still
True.
pretty
True.
even.
Yeah, that is disadvantage for the defenders,
CSA
especially at this
did
point. But
do a nice ticket drop, but it's just kind of not needed. Like
yeah,
you
I
don't
would maybe
really
like
need it to it
do the
much.
charge, but get the flag out. Like you probably know you're gonna lose the charge, but
Yeah, you do have to remember when you do get wiped, you are gonna take a lot of out of line casualties. You're
yeah,
gonna take a
yeah.
lot of skirmishing. Um,
Maxwell is out here ramboing.
it's those.
He's
It's
already
not.
dead.
It's not like the one ticket that kills you. The formation tickets that kill you when you get wiped. It's the out of lines. It's the
running away
skirmishing.
people, yeah.
You're worth 5 tickets if you die out of line. You're worth 3 tickets if you die in skirmishing.
And those 5 tickets of low pop is worth a hell of a lot more than it is in a
Yep,
big match.
absolutely.
Because if
But
you're in a
equally
big
as
match, you're a Rambo, you kill 5 people, you have paid for your ticket. In this, that
Yep.
is not the case.
Absolutely. A lot harder to kill. A lot harder.
Yep.
There's not as many rainbows coming around.
Now, Union positioning. Again, they do have point. It doesn't look like CSA is going in for the straight recap. Again, we talked about this in the strat map. They want to hold right here because if they come from the front, they come directly from the north, they're just going to shoot the shit out of the CSA. They know, though, if they don't see them straight ahead, they're coming for the forest. And their idea was to just go back into the middle of the field on those rocks. They keep just sitting there on the forward rocks in the forest. I don't know if it's
I
gonna
do like this
work for them.
position by EB. I do like the sort of line positioning. Oh, skirmish. Mac at it again.
Max out there on the caisson. He actually got one, so that's a good
Yeah,
ratio
I mean,
so far.
skirmishers do work. They cause a distraction. I
Yep.
mean, kudos to EB focusing on what's important, but definitely would have probably dealing with those skirmishers. Have them focus on it on the counter flanking.
Yeah,
It looks like
personally.
what Nitro's doing. Definitely.
Yeah, personally, if I was on Union side right now and I saw Mac over there, I'd be like, that's 5 guys not attacking me on the left. Ignore them. They are gonna take some residual,
You can
but
sometimes send out small units to
the
go
deal
wipe
with
them
them.
out.
Yeah,
That's what I usually do because if I can get a couple kills out of line,
they are a
that's
significant threat with their numbers. They are
pretty
only
good on
5
low pop.
guys, but you've got to. I'd say you'd want to commit no less than 7 guys to deal with that. And 7 guys from your main line when you've only got
Absolutely.
28
I mean,
people.
you still want to hold your position here.
Yeah, if you go and send out a skirmishing force after them, you're kind of giving them.
It's just to
you're
win
doing
on
their job.
tickets. That's
Yeah.
the idea.
So IVB's coming in close. Again, they're opting to sit in the forest and shoot it out. Let's see what they do with this first volley. Honestly, not all that effective. It was a very good volley, though.
Yeah, good volley.
Mac is
not
coming in
effective.
from
I
the
think I
back.
think it's mostly because of the soft cover. Again, shadows are hard to shoot through, and Mac just coming in
Yeah,
completely
he's
uncontested.
steamrolling right through the middle. He's going
Looks
to the
like
rock
Crawford
cover.
sees him.
Uh,
Mac does have 5 people,
yeah,
so
at this
this
point,
is
I would
a
probably
decent
send
group.
someone to kill him.
Well, I mean, they're behind hard cover now. You know, I mean, it's a different game when they're out behind soft cover, but
Mm-hmm.
when they're out behind hard cover on these rocks and stuff, oh,
Looks
they're
like Lightburn's
bringing
going
the
in to wipe him.
entire fourth.
Now,
Yeah,
this is a risky gamble because if IVB doesn't see it, if IVB
I
goes right now, they can beat the USA. But the thing is, I don't think they see it in time,
I
and I
think
don't
I think if
spawn it.
Crawford plays it smart and he notices his unit, he can pull back
To those rocks,
and
yeah,
give up the point.
yeah, he
Like
just
he
goes
doesn't need to
meet
be
up
defending
before.
point here. Again, you know, you want to hold the point simply so that you're not on the attack and they have to come to you.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately,
sometimes it's smart to do that. You know, just win on tickets and trade off the point. You know,
yeah,
it doesn't look like they went in at all, which I think is a huge mistake for CSA.
yeah, they
The
didn't
union pulled
communicate.
back and they didn't see it. I guess
They
I
don't
don't
have
know what
voice
happened.
chat and them being out in the trees. If anything, this is kind of what happens sometimes without Steam chat. Mac goes in and he'll usually expect support from the team, but IVB's either got other
Left him
obligations
alone. Left him
or they
alone.
didn't
I
see
mean,
him.
I agree with Mac's position
Yeah,
there.
no,
I
it
think
was
he did a
good.
great
If
job.
it was coordinated, they
The
would have
only
taken
thing
it.
I would have changed is Mac just pull back your boys. Don't sacrifice those out of line or skirmishing tickets. You know, pull your boys back as soon as you see them heading towards you, and you know just pull it back. But I mean, you know, he did a great job. I think his teamman left him dry. You know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been noticing the trend is. And again, that's really just due to not being able to communicate from long distances. Is if IVB actually played off of what Mac did, they would have taken point flawlessly. I mean, the USA team was divided in half. Now, Crawford, like you said, could have fallen back, but they would have lost the point. Um, which is without that communication, though. It's hard to tell sometimes. Now, with where IVB is in the force right now, they're losing the shootout because they're not really using their biggest advantage, which is buck and ball. They're within like 150, 70 yards, sure, but they are getting shot to ribbons.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty spread out too. It's very. I think they're in a skirmishing formation. But yeah, they absolutely lost that gunfight. It does looks like they're gonna get their flag back. So we'll see how that goes. You know, that can definitely shift the tide of a game. Just having those respawns in. Um, so we'll see how that goes. But I think the remnants are gonna get wiped here. I mean, unless EB doesn't, you know, try to move forward. You know,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
may
see why you
not
wouldn't.
be
You know.
aware of how many they killed. They might expect there to be more. They have done
Yeah,
a lot of damage. And I think it's
a lot of soft cover here. A lot
yeah.
of cover will do that. Make your numbers a lot harder to see. But at some point, you just gotta like understand that like there's not as much gunfire coming out. You know, maybe just clean it up and then focus on where the enemy's actually at. You know, say you know a lot. I gotta stop saying that.
Now, I would be warning Billy Yank here too. If he
Ye-
stops where he's at, I'm
Yeah,
probably. Cause the thing is, he's in between two forces. Eventually, someone's gonna catch up with him. But he's been out there a long time. It looks like he is grouping up. Okay, good. I did
I'd
have
say
to warn
these.
point, but
I'd say these skirmishers. Definitely should pull back. I wouldn't have them out here still.
yeah, they're not
Probably
really
just
doing
gonna cost their
much.
team a lot of tickets.
Yeah, they really need to either get back to line or get in the fight. Now, again, IVB,
They
USA,
are harassing the back of the
a
line.
little
They
bit.
are,
Yeah,
but it's only 4 guys, and you know,
yeah, they
if
got
they
four
die,
guys
worth
there.
3 tickets.
Mac and plus those skirmishers, that IVB line on point is severely diminished. If anything, I'd expect them to get pretty wiped out by Union unless both sides push at once, which communication, good luck with that. IVB is actually doing fairly well on the
Oh
shootout so
wow,
far.
nice shot by those. You know, those skirmishers are actually doing quite a bit of work. I actually changed my mind about that. They're doing some work. They're killing
Yeah,
officers. They're hitting from behind. Union's not really facing them. I think they're actually turning the tide of this gunfight.
I would honestly maybe like to see the Union just turn around and go kill them.
I think that's what Crawford's about to do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The problem is CSA is going to take points. So
yeah,
at
they're
this
going to give
point,
up presents, but honestly,
at this point, do you put them to last stand when they cap?
I
Like,
would
do you go on
let
the
them
ultra
take
aggressive?
point because we're at taking losses. If you get out taking losses, the game's over. So if they go here, they let them cap point. I would expect IVB's not going to cap
All right.
point.
If there is a part of Crawford's soul, if Crawford can hear me right now, all right, what I would definitely have him do. Oh, it looks like they're not going to cap point. Never mind.
No, no. If I was IVB, I would not cap point. I would not indulge the USA team because
Hey, look at the ticket difference though. They were dead even, and those skirmishers got wiped, and now they're a quarter.
they can actually. I mean, they still got a lot of time left on the clock if they shoot it out well. I mean, Union can last stand them and win that way.
I think CSA is going to try edging the point here.
Mm-hmm.
They are good positionally. They're pushing up. There's no reason for them not to edge the point.
I would say they're
just
well.
make
The
sure
thing
not
about
to-
edging is USA has no reason to stop them. You want CSA to take point right now.
Well,
If
the
they
thing
take
is-
point,
the thing
you're
is,
gold.
they're pretty close to breaking. So if you edge the cap, oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
this
they're
might decide the
charging in
match.
the open
This might decide the map.
into a Union line. They're gonna brace.
Is if this IVB, why they're getting wiped out? This is
They
a
might
big
win it.
mistake.
They
This is
might win it. Hold on. There's still a
Hmm.
lot of them in the back.
Yeah,
on.
nah. I think it's
No,
it's decisive.
they lost it. They lost it.
yeah. They
Crawford,
lost it.
Lightburn are still alive. They're shooting them down.
No, they did
mean,
take the tickets. USA is about to go breaking. Let's see if that CSA flag gets out. I mean, if that CSA flag gets out, that's okay, good.
Oh nope! You kill it. You kill that flag. You push it right now.
Yeah, honorful display.
Lightburn,
Burn.
don't do it.
Nah,
Lightburn,
Lightburn's
you're out.
gonna. I'm gonna allow it because
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna allow it as long as he doesn't pursue it. Then okay, he's going back. Yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that guy was turning around.
The reason I would allow it is because I'd expect that guy to try to pick up the flag. If I was Lightburn, dude, I'd send it and try to kill that flag.
I think that was justified for Lightburn to do
Yeah,
that.
he
I mean,
came right back.
He was pursuing and he stopped. He realized he was kind of ramboing. But that guy turned around. He was asking
Yeah, he was good.
for
Yeah,
it.
he was asking for it. Now, the thing is, they've got their flag down yet again. They picked it up, which means the despawn timer has restarted. So IVB has put themselves in a very bad spot. Now, of course, USA is about to go breaking. All IVB has to do is win one charge. But good luck winning one charge.
Poor first Minnesota. They're just over here. They're two people.
Oh, are they over there
They're not
behind
a
the logs?
skirmish Unit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're not allowed to even fight.
They're not even allowed to fight. Poor first Minnesota. I feel so bad for my boys.
They just need one more fella, and they're good to go.
Usually 53rd will like fill in a couple guys so that they don't get into situations like this, but
Yeets. Okay, it looks like Union is shifting into the forest? Maybe not. What is Yeet doing?
I think he's just scouting. I think his boys aren't supposed. Oh no, that he's skirmishing. He's
Yeah,
skirmishing.
I will forgive it because it is MB. He's just got the small detachment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's just skirmishing.
But the thing is, though, you only 3 guys. One of you gets killed per server rules. You can't fight anymore. You kind of want a buffer. Every more individual member you get's a better buffer. Now those guys behind the log pile are, I think, getting shot
I do like
at.
scouts. You might die out of line with them, but I do like it because it gives you the most important detail, which is the fog war, and you go back to your team. As long as you coordinate with your team and what's going on, sometimes you can even bait them out into your position if they get greedy enough. So I absolutely agree with scouting here. I think MB is doing their team
no, they're
solid.
doing it. So here's the thing, however. I think IVB is doing themselves a big disservice right now. They're going into the long-range shootout, and yeah, they have plenty of visual concealment and some hard cover. But that is a like 250-yard plus shot.
You have buck and ball.
Yeah, if you drill with buck and ball, you know you cannot consistently
I think
hit that
they just
far out.
got tired of losing, and the thing is, you don't have to charge in low pop. You don't have to charge to win. You can just shoot it out with buck and ball.
Yeah, it's
and
honestly
win.
more effective because it's less of a gamble. You're still taking tickets. It's less of a gamble.
I think the hard cover was giving the Union an advantage in the gunfight, and CSA didn't know how to deal with that. But CSA finds some good cover too, and just plays a little bit more passive, I mean, you're winning on time. You can win that gunfight easily.
Yeah,
Just get behind
yeah.
some rocks.
Mac's out there in the forest right now, getting
Again with the
pursued by Nitro, and he's getting routed. Nitro managed to fend him off. Now Mac is just only able to scout again.
Yep. I've said so much times tonight. It's just it's bad. I know
I
there's
haven't
gonna be a
even
counter
noticed.
for it. There's gonna be like a comment in this video just with the amount of times I've said
You know it? You know what you know?
if you know.
But yeah, IVB, I don't really
I
like
don't
it.
agree with this
I
decision.
don't like it.
I
Yeah, I don't
don't
like
agree
it.
with it. I
No, did
think
they switch
a better
rifles?
position would be to maybe get on the middle rocks over here, get some nice little cover, get a nice firing line going, and just shoot them as much as you can before going to final push. I mean,
Yeah, interestingly
either that
enough,
or make an aggressive play towards point. Just anything but this.
I believe they switched off Buck and Ball.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they probably switched off quite a while ago. So now that they've switched off Buck and Ball, they're probably trying to do the shootout. But again, they're gonna lose the shootout just based on fucking statistics here, even if they've
Yeah,
got better
definitely.
rifles. I would
Definitely.
always try to leverage that forest at CSA.
Do me a favor and put a counter on the bottom
Oh,
of the
that's
video.
work. That's a lot of work. I've already got to do other things.
You
Maybe,
gotta
you
put in the
know,
work. You gotta put in the grind.
maybe if I use like AI voice recognition and program it so every time it hears it does it for me and it like flags the video.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I'll consider a meter.
All right. Yeah, I just this gunfight is just depressing for me because, hey, like first Minnesota, they,
Yeah, where are they at? Where are they at? Where's first Minnesota at? Are they dead and dying, or are they actually they're back with the team?
they're just with the main unit. They're
Mhm.
not skirmishing anymore. I liked it when they were flanking, putting on different positions because it opened things up. Now they're just kind of clobbed up all together, shooting from far away, losing on the ticket battle.
Yeah, now even though maybe I'm suspecting maybe IVB strategy right now is just wait till flag despawns and then try to make a final play.
Actually,
Maybe that's what they're doing.
that's a decent strategy. But however, I still think they're losing on tickets. Like, I
They got
think
their
you get
flag up.
behind hard cover instead of the soft cover because you really put yourself in
Mm,
a vulnerable position.
Now I've got something real unfortunate for the unless they get off. EB and IVB is still up there on the forest. They have to pull off right now because their entire team is going through a flank towards the west. Now, okay, looks like they're pulling off, thankfully. So the entire CSA team is going to do what we've been saying, just go through the forest. Now that they got their flags, I suspect they're going to try to make a last push kind of thing. Or
We'll
not.
see. We'll see.
Looks like they are opting to just kind of wait and regroup. Now Union should be aware of this.
I would probably make a Hail Mary towards point. Just get on those rocks right there, on the point, and just try to put as many bodies as possible, and just win the gunfight using the close range. I mean, you can spread out the boys on the rocks. You can even get some on the log cabin. Just put it in a close range fight. I think that's how CSA wins here, is just putting bodies on point and winning the objective and forcing a Union charge. But
Union's
I'm not.
repositioning.
Yeah.
They know they're coming. Now there is the Nitro flank force out there. He's going to be alone against the onslaught of the Rebel Tide, but he'll probably fall back immediately again.
Yeah, I'd say maybe Union's too bunched up here.
Yeah, they
I
are
think that
pretty
might be their
clustered.
problem. They should probably garrison the rocks or logs ahead of them.
Yeah, that log pile, you can see it in the video, but this log pile I'm zooming in on and these rocks right there,
different
not bad.
angles. So when they bunch up, you're hitting them from different sides. It's harder to deal with when you're getting shot at from two different sides. You can hold a flanking line, but usually one falters.
Yep. So here's the thing, is it's pretty much going to be a CSA all or nothing. If they opt to shoot it out, they have to hope they can somehow overcome the ticket lead. If they go in for the charge, if they win the charge, they win the game. If they lose the charge, they're going to be put in a final push.
Well, if Union gets wiped here, they lose.
Yeah, if Union gets wiped at any point, it's a CSA victory.
That's the main CSA advantage
Yeah,
they have right
that's
now.
I suspect that's what they're trying to do. Is they're just going to try to go in and wipe them.
They're just going to charge the road, aren't they?
It looks like they are. Honestly, I think this is going to go poorly for CSA. Look at that gun line on USA. If they all get their good shots off.
They're decapping point. I would not say that.
If they stay there, and fight on the log pile, good.
They're getting a lot of tickets too. That flag just went down.
Yeah, they haven't picked that flag up.
Halfway towards breaking. We'll see.
I don't think they're going to get him out of breaking with this.
I think Crawford needs to see the danger here and order his troops, in a different position, because they're just going to win the gunfight on point.
Yeah, I would almost maybe suggest a charge. All the CSAs behind the log pile. They are all behind the log pile.
This is a Hail Mary. They're losing tickets.
Yeah, if they get charged, I think it'll go bad. Let's see. IVB.
They're taking too many losses. I don't see it. They're going to be at half strength at most. They're putting down some losses now because they're putting direct fire and.
Yeah, I mean
they're just peeking out, but the bodies. I think you got to spread it out. I think you got to maneuver a little bit here. It's so crowded on those rocks, especially with buck and ball range. And it does look like CSA is going to take the point. They're halfway towards it.
Yeah, USA's not making much of an effort. Okay,
I love this call.
Charge.
You're giving yourself a chance here. Give yourself a chance, Union.
Lightburn's going in for the charge. I would have done this earlier. I would have done this maybe a minute or two earlier.
You would have liked to seen it earlier, but
it is not going very well. So that's the thing is
charging across open field. Hurts.
IVB knew they had to come to him, and since he waited, you gave him more time to get loaded. They didn't even peek out and fire. They all were loaded and ready for you to come there. That was pretty bad for you.
Hey, they gave him a chance. They did.
Yeah. That was well fought by both sides. I would say Union's positioning I may have disagreed with, but for the most part they did very well. IVB, except for one portion, they played the map also very strongly. But that's going to be it for this map. Let's look at the strat map, and we will go on to the next round.